Hey, I am Laserless and welcome to episode 1, and we're going to be talking about OBS and connecting it to your Mevo Start or even your Mevo Plus camera. I've had a lot of questions, people asking how do I use it with OBS, and boy, there's a lot of different ways you can do that. So why don't we get right off to it. One of the latest things that they've actually added, what we're going to be doing is, whoa, the green screen works kind of cool in that, doesn't it? Anyway, using it in the tablet mode to connect two Mevo Pluses, and you should be able to see that moving on that screen as well. Currently, I'm using a Mevo Start right as you see. We can switch right to the tablet mode though. There's the tablet mode a little bit, I think because I moved it. Let's go back down to here. Here we go. As you can see, the clarity is not quite as clean. That's why I primarily use the starts. Let's go back to the start. It's a little bit cleaner. And it is a newer model of camera. You would think with the name Plus would have been the version 2, but Plus is the version 1. Start is the version 2. It has a larger battery. Not quite as wide as view frame on the starts. Logitech has now purchased out the start, so it's by Logitech now, Mevo. So let's get right into it. What we're going to be talking about is using OBS. And let's see, what version of OBS am I running? Let me refresh my memory. Okay, I believe this is the current version as of today. 27.2.3. It's the 64-bit version. And I do have a few things pre-set up in this app. And you do have to download one important item to get your Mevo working. Which is, if you want to use it wirelessly, if you noticed in the bottom right hand side, the Mevo wireless webcam, and how that works, I'm using it with the tablet like I mentioned. That's how I'm getting the tablet sources out. Let me pop back to the tablet sources. That's how I'm getting the tablet sources out. I'm using the wireless webcam, and if we go back to the desktop, we can look at that it's actually set up to, whoops, I have the latest version, thank you. Let's open this up again. If you look right here, it's multicam, and it's my Galaxy Tab. I'm using an Android tablet. Sending that source, so you could have up to 3 different cameras connected up to your tablet and send that out to OBS. And this is the connection that OBS is using. Let me quickly get back to the Mevo Start here. This is the one that, well, very similar to the one that I'm currently recording on right now. You have to power on the Mevo Start by holding down for like 3 seconds, and it turns on. And give it a second. It's going to link up here. All right, I have mine automatically set. It's not to the webcam mode, but the easiest way to change your Mevo Starts to webcam mode is double click the button. And it makes that noise there, doo-doo-doo-doo. You can switch it back to standard mode for streaming. And it makes another noise. It makes it a little bit different. So the camera I'm using right now, like I said, is actually plugged right into the USB, and it sees it right off the bat that it's a available camera. Okay. So let's get back to the software with OBS, because that's really what we're going to be talking today. We might cover some more basics on using your Mevo with just some of the basic settings, but this more primarily is talking about OBS. So here we go. We are going to get right to our desktop. Now, again, we are going to first of all cover what this looks like in the software. So let's go right here. I'll come in here. All right, if you look right above my head here, we have the first thing that's really important, which is scenes. Okay, now we're on our scenes. This is most important to get in your head. There's really only two major portions, your meat and potatoes, which are your scenes and sources. Right now we're talking about scenes, which are pre-set up camera angles, graphics, titling, anything you want to have set ready to go. You can have multiple cameras. You can have a video presentation. You can have titles under a person's name with a camera angle set up just for that person. The scenes is just how you switch between different scenarios for your cameras and graphics. Okay, next we're setting up sources. This is right to the right-hand side of scenes. This will let you import graphics, cameras, audio, play different elements on that scene that is important to that scene. So every element, and it does work like other programs where it has layers you can put on top of each other. We'll show that in just a little bit. Okay, the top portion of the screen gives you a example or showing you what it's actually streaming or recording out to make sure you're in the right scene or the right scenario, and just making sure you have the right video playing. So that's basically a preview or an example of what it's sending out on the stream. Now this is your audio mixer in the middle. The audio mixer is nice because, again, you can mute a mic right away. You can, if you have other sources coming in, like audio capture right here, it's currently not sending any audio, so that's okay because it's primarily just using my mic. You have your transition settings, so your quick transitions. When I just click one of these scenes over here, it will use a fade, and you can quickly change that. Let me just demonstrate that. So like myself, I'm fading in and out because it's changing scenes more so. Thing that you want to look at is you have controls. Currently I am recording this, so if you notice the second button down is stop recording. We're not going to press that right now because then it'll stop recording what we're recording. If you're going to send this out to a stream, whether it be YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, or many other destinations, those are just a few to name it, you're going to use this button here, but right now we're just using record. You can actually even start a virtual camera, which that way you can import this into another, like send it out to Zoom or other apps that want a camera signal, so you can improve that just by using OBS. Another button is studio mode. This is simply going to give you a preview of what you're going to send and your program that's currently recording. Again, up the top here, this is preview, and this is program. I'll just give you an example of what that is. Let's say if we wanted to go to my tablet source. That's me. It hasn't changed yet. And we can slide this bar even right in the middle, and there we go. Now it's recording that. And we're going to do it again. Okay, let's turn studio mode off for now. Let's keep it simple. You do have a settings button. We're not going to get into the settings right at this moment. We are going to get back to our desktop. The first thing you want to do is, let's say you want to create a scene. Let's say like we did here with our intro title. I already have one, if you notice, named Laser Less Title, but we're going to make a new one and show you exactly how to do that. So down at the bottom of each of these particular two, whether it be scenes or sources, you have a plus. That means you're going to add something, a minus, which is remove, or you can scroll up and down on the list selecting each one. For now, we are going to hit add, and you got to name your scene. And so let's say you had a scene that you wanted, again, your title. So I'll just call it my title. Hit OK on that. Starts out with black. There's nothing going on. And let's go back to desktop here. Now we're going to want to add, right in this corner here in our sources, you're going to want to add, let's just add the title. So I'm going to click the add button. I actually have to go back to title here. Whoosh. And let's add an image. Okay. So let's do this one more time. I had to do that. I had to adjust this just a little bit to make the video work. So let me remove this. This is what I was adding. Okay, let's go down to the plus button. And let's add an image, because I've already created a image. And we'll just call it title. If you notice here, it already has a few that I've named right here. You can actually pick things that you've done in the past, but I'm going to create a new one to show you how to create a new one. So you click on, well, it automatically defaults create new. We'll hit OK. We're going to browse the file, and let's do our topic one right here. So we're selecting laser topic intro. Boom. Gives you a sample what that's going to look like. We're going to hit OK. And it has it over the full screen. It's a little on the big side. But you can place it anywhere. You just use your mouse. You have your bottom controls sliders to make it bigger and larger. And you can put that anywhere on your screen. Right now it is doing a screen capture as well as this. Another neat thing about this, you can turn these off and on. Let's say you have a screen with multiple pictures on it. So let's add one more. So we have that there. Let's add another one. Add image. And this time let's use something existing we had. Let's just do my nameplate, which is laserless. We're going to hit OK. Now if you look, it put it right there. It is a transparent GIF. So if you notice the background on it, instead of using a full square like this one is up here, it's transparent. Now we can make if you go, you have a little I button, and I'm circling it right here on the sources. We can make it disappear by not showing it. And there's another, by the nameplate, there's an eyeball right there. So we can click on both of those and make them disappear or reappear. The cool thing about that, let's say we wanted to add a camera to this, which is, well, let's go right in. This is the basics of it. We are going to add a video capture device, which we already have my tablet set up and a video capture, but we're going to call it Video Capture 2 to show you how to set up one from the scratch. I have a few different inputs already on this computer. I have a snap camera. I have a Mevo, which is the wired cam that I have that I was showing you earlier. Let's go ahead and click on the Mevo. Mevo camera 64 right there. Okay, and with the output source, just like so. Again, you can adjust that to your heart's content. And we could take my name if we wanted to put it, if you notice one's over the other, and if you do not like how that's working, you can take and move down by holding your left mouse button and scroll it down, and it should put laserless, there we go, in front of that. And now we can just scroll it like that. Because the sources down here, your sources work like layers. So again, if we have this Mevo, this should be in the background. I'm hoping that this isn't looking too confusing, but we're gonna expand this a little bit. And again, if you want the title in front, we're gonna have to slide this over just a little bit. And we can grab this and move it over, and we can grab laserless and move it over. And again, down here, you just grab the title, and we can put it in front of everything by just moving it around. We're going to put it right in front. Boom. Now, we have just created a scene, if you notice right here, called My Title. It has a image in the background. It has a transparent GIF, and it has a video source. Now, let's say we wanted another video source, which, again, I'm using the wireless Mevo webcam app to my tablet. We are going to add that source on this as well. You click down here, and again, you add video capture. Now I know it's not showing on the screen. It opens up what you want to select, and we're going to add existing, and we are going to do tablet. I already had that set up. Now it's actually a capture from the tablet. I can switch it from on the tablet from different cameras. Let's see if I get this. Switch in there, switch in there. And using the tablet in that form. So now I have two different sources in this one scene. Not that you really need that, but you have the possibility if you have it pointed at something else or just a different angle and you wanted it for drama. But let's say you just wanted a scene for the tablet. Because scenes can be set up with graphics, different inputs, different sources, or even playing a different video file. And that is one of the problems right now that you cannot do with the Mevo app, is if you have to do a slide presentation or something like that, OBS might be the perfect trick to run on your laptop and connect your Mevos. So again, let me go down here. I am going to go to the plus button. And I'm going to add a new scene. So as soon as I hit plus, you can't see it. It asks add a scene, and we're going to call it scene just tablet. Okay, we've added that now. I currently have also one called capture, so it'll show the desktop that I'm working with. And we are going to just add a video capture, and we are already going to add existing, we're going to add the tablet. Okay, we have the tablet. This is the source now that is running. Again, we're going to show you. Let's go to the desktop. That is running the wireless Mevo app. I just had one of the Mevos turn off. Okay, that's fine. But it wasn't one that we're currently using. It was the one I was showing. We're going to grab the app. And we are going to show that switching. Just like so. With different input sources. And again, I can go back to on the OBS if I don't want the tablet output source. I can go right to my cab here, showing me hold this. With it, I do have a green screen behind me, so it does some really interesting things. And again, we go back to the tablet. With that, let's get back to OBS really quick. Okay, we have our capture. Let me put me on the screen here. Hello, all. So again, sources can be so many different things. Let's see, when I hit this, does it show? Yeah, it does. Okay, so you have an audio input capture. So let's say you have multiple different mics you want to switch to. Yes, you can add that to a particular scene. Input and output. Browser, let's say you have, this one's a little more complicated, more advanced, and I'll have to explain that probably in a different episode, but you can add different browser portions, basically. That's the right word I'm looking for, browser sources. And like I said, that will be for another time, because that's pretty advanced. You can do a color source. You can capture display capture, which is basically what I'm doing in the background, why there's so many versions, you might say, of it. Game capture, it has a built-in, so if you're going to stream a game, it'll look for the game and capture the game and export it out. Of course, an image, which we did show that a little bit. Image slideshow, so it'll create a slideshow of images. Let's say you had 20 different slides you wanted to play. Media source, which would be like videos, gives you the ability to do videos. You can add a scene as a source, which is kind of a paradox. So kind of like what we have going on here, we have a scene and a scene and a scene and a scene, because that is not adding a scene, but it's capturing and recapturing out on it. You can add text. Text is really handy. Let's add called text. Sure, why not? We'll just call it text. And test. Oop, if I spell it right. Test. Okay, so now we have that, and we can put it in any location on the screen that we would like. Let's say I put it over my face, and let's say I didn't want it over my face. Let's say I want it smaller and down by me to name me, and again, you just grab it and scroll around with your left mouse button. Let's say you didn't want it to show. Again, you can go to the eyeball right here and press it. It'll disappear. It'll reappear. That's basically activating and deactivating it. Any sources in your scene, you can activate and deactivate. Say you don't like the word test. You wanted to have it be your name, so I'll just switch it to laser real quick. Hit OK. Boom. Boom. Woola. That's in a nutshell with text. Let's see, what else do we got? We have a video source. I particularly at the moment use VLC. It'll send out to this, so if it's playing something in the background already. Again, video capture, which is what I'm doing with me right here. You can even capture, which again, what I'm doing in the background, as you can see here, I am actually capturing basically the whole window. Not display capture, because that's capturing whatever's on a display. This is a window capture. So let's say you have a window of Chrome, which we can open this up and we will show you what we're talking about. And again, here we go. Window capture. And I just had a file manager. Okay, disregard. We're going to get rid of that. Disregard. And it's showing a window of File Explorer that I have already open. So if you do something, you want to show something in the background, it'll be showing your window. And again, this is File Explorer that it is, or Explorer, I should say, showing in the background. We're going to get rid of that source for now, though. Boom. Those are all the sources. Or you can even do it. I guess there's one other thing. You can create a group of them. So if you already had like 10 different things you want to group together, you can do that as well. Okay. One other real quick question that I've had come up before is, how do I make my text scroll? So let me go in here and let's keep adding more. This is a test to see this video scroll. Will it do it or not? Boom. Okay, and as you can see, it kind of came off my screen, which it did. And let's say we want it just under my name. Obviously, that is way too long. You can see that's actually off my screen. So we are going to transform this. We're going to edit the transform. And we are going to crop it in on the right-hand side. Let's crop it in 400. Will that do the trick? Oh, we did. Oh, no. Hold on. I'm on the wrong thing. My bad. Let's close that down. We want to go to the CGI and we want to, there we go. See, I had the wrong thing selected there. We want to transform that and we want to scroll in. Let's do 500 on the right. Do I even need to do more? 1500? We need even more. 2500? Ooh, we're getting close. Oh, I did 55. 65 there. Oh, that might be a little too much. Let's do... All right. Now I have it just under 19. What it's doing here, it's cropping in from the right-hand side to make it smaller. If you grab the handles, it's not going to do that, but you can actually crop it in. If you want to do the top, bottom, left, right, you can do any of that in transforming. You can do that with your video captures. This is actually something I use quite regularly, is editing the transform. And now that I have that, as you can see, it does not scroll. It doesn't show all the text I want. So I want that to be scrolling at the bottom like a news ticker or something like that. So we're going to right mouse. This is the craziest thing because, again, this took me a little while to find. We're going to go to filters. Believe it or not, you're adding a filter. Don't ask me. It doesn't make sense to me, but we're adding a filter. Hitting the plus button. And right here, besides adding a chroma key, which is like the green background I have, you can color correct. You can do all kinds of different things on that. This is more for the advanced. We're not getting into advanced, but scrolling is something I do use quite regularly. So we're just going to call it scroll. That's fine. And you can have it scroll horizontally or vertically. And for now, I want it to be like a news ticker. And you can have it come from the left or the right. I am going to have it scroll like so. And if you look, it's moving really slow. I'm going to move it faster, faster, faster. And that's about as fast as it can go right there. We'll have it all the way fast. And close. Now, if you look under my name, you've got it scrolling. That is the one feature on OBS that I use that actually took a while. But let's say you wanted to do credits. That is not what you wanted. You wanted to have scroll through some names or something like that. So hold on. Let's pause this. Let's load this back up. And it is doing a nice job of scrolling. Let's say you have a long text like this. And you want it like movie credits, because that's another thing I use. And obviously, we're going to hit OK on this. Right now, it looks really wacky. The reason why is because, again, I have that transform, and I'm cropping it so much. So we are going to go back to Edit Transform, and we're going to make this back to 0. Now, if you look, we have the text, but not exactly scrolling how I want it to scroll. That is definitely not scrolling like a movie. So let's go ahead. If you wanted this, we are again going to go back to filters. And we are going to change our scroll to 0. And now it's not scrolling at all. But we can change vertical speed. Let's go a little slower than that. So if you're doing an end credits and you wanted this somewhere scrolling on and off the screen, just like so. That's one thing I use quite a bit that took me a little while to find because I would have never looked in filters. Again, this is OBS. This is a basic version. Streamlabs, which is kind of the next step up. I recommend. I do use it. I use it more than just OBS. You have some basic features, but let me go right now back to studio mode. So now if you look, studio mode, which is again, we click over on our controls, studio mode, which is kind of nice because let's go to my tablet. All right, so now this over on the left-hand side, you can kind of see, is my source, and the right over here is my preview, which you can't really see well at the moment, but I'm going to scroll over. And it gives you a nice change back and forth because of this control in the middle. So let me go back to not studio mode. So that is the basic features, how to use a Mevo while even 3 cameras with a tablet. Again, it's their beta. It is the button. Let me load up just to me cam here. There we go. And let me get this on the screen. If you look right there, beta, that is for streaming out what you're getting out your tablet. Works pretty good. Considering they call it beta, I'm very impressed. And again, we can, on this particular, switch that to that camera. Boom. And I know that's a quick summation of OBS, but again, if you have any questions, put them in the comments. And that's a quick view of OBS with Mevo.